Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Dr. Ritu Agarwal, currently working in SMS Hospital, Jaipur, Rajasthan. I have been a cardiac imaging fellow at Cleveland Clinic, US, and a neuroradiology fellow at GW University, Washington, D.C. So the present case is a 52 years old male with history of hypertension. He had a history of peripheral vascular disease with ulcers in the lower limb. He was a prior smoker. He presented with increasing swelling and abdominal pain and decreased urinary output. His lab showed increased troponin and B nitroprotein with elevated WBC, neutrophil predominance. He also has a history of exotic pets and reptiles at home. Since there was a history of chest pain and back pain, there was a suspicion of acute aortic dissection or a pulmonary embolism. So a CT of was done. So these are the CT images. So as you can see, there is no dissection, there is no pulmonary embolism, there is some mediastinal lymph nodes and consolidation. But what important was in this is there is this filling defects in the right atrial appendage, in the right ventricular apex, as well as in the left ventricular apex. So we did an echo for this person, and in the echo, we see this in a four-chamber view. This is the left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, and the right ventricle. We see there is a echo-free cavity at the LA apex, and there is an increased high-density overlying clot in the lumen. And in the RV, we see there is a thrombus. With this, the patient needs further evaluation, and his echo report said there is biventricular dilatation with reduced EF and questionable clots or thrombus in the left atrium and the right ventricle. There is dilated LA and the RA, and there is TR, MR, and AR. So the differential in this case were whether it's ischemic cardiomyopathy because of the presence of thrombus. The patient had a left bundle branch block, so is it sarcoidosis? Or is it myocarditis causing biventricular failure because he had some exotic pets at home? So a cardiac MRI was done, and on the very first sequence, there's the SSFA image and the black belt image. We see there is increased signal between the myocardial layers. This on T1, this has a bright signal, which makes us suspicious if it is an acute clot. So we went back and looked at the CT images. We found there is some subtle hypodensity between the two layers of myocardium, even on the non-contrast images. So we did further went on and did the cine images of four-chamber view. A two-chamber view. And a four-chamber stack. So in this image, we can see there is increased signal within the myocardium wall, that is between the endocardium and the epicardium, which is favoring the acute clot. And this clot is partially within the myocardial cavity and partially extending into the muscle, which is suggesting it is a dissection or a hemorrhage within the myocardium. We can also see the right ventricular clot, which was seen on echo. And when we did the delayed enhancement images, so we see there is a full thickness scar in the LED distribution, and there is some small black areas within this full thickness scar, which represents microvascular obstruction or no reflow phenomena, whereas the central core is so dead that there is no blood flow in it, even on the delayed enhancement images. This is a full thickness scar in the LED territory, and this black structure is the clot, which has not enhanced even on the very delayed images. So a final impression for this case was we have a full thickness scar in the LED with also involvement of the LCX territory. We have a non-enhancing thrombus in the left ventricular apex. We have small areas of low signal within the scarred myocardium, which represents microvascular obstruction, and we have intramyocardial dissection and hemorrhage. So this is a very good paper talking about the intramyocardial dissection. So as in other cases of dissection, intramyocardial dissection is when the blood seeps in between the myocardial layers, separating them, and it may have a intracavitary component, a rent from where the blood is extending through the endometrium, through the endometrium and endocardium, and extending into the muscle, and separation of the muscle showing increased signal as in our case. So the take home points from this is MRI is a very useful modality for differentiating ischemic cardiomyopathy from non-ischemic cardiomyopathy. And besides the scar, it provides a very valuable information about the left ventricular thrombus, about the right ventricular thrombus, and the filling defects that we were seeing as in this case in the right atrial appendage, about the microvascular obstruction and intramyocardial dissection or intramyocardial hemorrhage as in this case. Thank you so much.